Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to dive into a groundbreaking shift in medicine, a technology that could literally engineer cures inside the human body. We're talking about making miracle therapies available to millions of people. If you're interested in the future of medicine, you're in the right place. So please hit that subscribe button, like, and share this with your friends. You won't want to miss this.
So let's start with a treatment that's already a revolution in its own right: CAR-T cell therapy. Seriously, this has been an absolute game changer, showing this incredible, sometimes even curative power against some really nasty blood cancers.
But here's the shocking reality. As powerful as it is, it's almost impossible to get. A single dose can cost around $400,000, and the wait times can be agonizingly long. Some patients get much worse, or even die, just waiting for their turn. The result? Around 4 out of every 5 patients who are eligible for this life-saving treatment never get it.
So why? How can a therapy with so much promise be so out of reach for so many people? Well, it's a classic story of incredible science hitting a wall of real-world problems. Let's break down exactly what's going on.
You see, the way we do it now is called Ex Vivo therapy, which literally means outside the living body. It's an unbelievably complex process. We have to take a patient's immune cells out, freeze them, ship them to a specialized lab, genetically engineer them there, grow millions of them, and then ship them all the way back to be put into the patient. The whole thing is a logistical marathon that takes weeks.
And that marathon is full of hurdles. The manufacturing is incredibly hands-on, which creates these huge bottlenecks. There are only so many doses they can make. The logistics are a nightmare, and, this is a big one, before patients can even get their new cells, they have to go through a round of harsh chemotherapy to wipe out their immune system. It's brutal, and it means only the most specialized hospitals can even attempt it.
So all of this led scientists to ask a really brilliant question. What if we could just skip the lab? I mean, what if we could turn the patient's own body into the medicine factory?
And that is the beautiful idea behind In Vivo CAR-T therapy. Just imagine a single, off-the-shelf injection that you can mass produce. It travels through the body, finds the exact right immune cells, and reprograms them right there, on the spot, to fight the cancer. No shipping, no external factory, no waiting for weeks on end.
And this slide just shows you how different it is. It's night and day. On the left, you've got the 6-step logistical nightmare. And on the right, 2 simple steps. Infuse the therapy, and the body does the rest. We're going from a handcrafted, personalized medicine to something that's actually scalable and accessible.
Okay, so this sounds incredible, but how in the world do you actually give these genetic instructions to the right cells inside a living, breathing person? Well, right now, there are 2 leading ways to do it.
The first approach uses engineered viruses. Think of them like a super smart delivery service. They take a harmless virus, attach an antibody to its surface so it targets only T cells, and load it with a genetic package. It delivers that package right into the cell's DNA, making a permanent change. The second method uses lipid nanoparticles, or LNPs. And if that sounds familiar, it's because it's the same amazing tech used in the COVID-19 vaccines. They're basically tiny bubbles of fat that carry temporary instructions using mRNA.
And here's where it gets really clever, because there's a trade-off. The viral vectors give you this permanent, persistent army of cancer-fighting cells. That's great when you need a really high, sustained attack. But the LNP RNA approach is temporary. It's transient. The effect fades. That gives you incredible control and a much higher safety profile. It's perfect for more of a hit-and-run mission, where you might want to redose and control the exposure.
And maybe the single most important part for the patient experience is this. With either of these new methods, you don't need that harsh chemotherapy beforehand. This is a massive, massive deal. It makes the entire process so much more comfortable and safer, opening the door for patients who might have been too weak for the old way.
Now, I want to be clear, this isn't just a cool idea on a whiteboard somewhere. This is happening right now. The race to bring in vivo therapy from the lab to the clinic is on, and it is moving at an incredible pace.
Just look at this timeline. The basic ideas for CAR-T have been around for decades. But then, look at the last few years. The very same year the first ex vivo therapies were approved, scientists showed in vivo could work in mice. And now, this year, 2024, the very first human patients are being treated in clinical trials. The speed is just breathtaking.
And it's a packed race. There are more than 30 companies in this space now. You have pioneers like Intrius and Umoja using viral vectors, and companies like Myoid and Capstan leading the charge with LNP RNA. They're all already in phase 1 human trials, building on the success of targets like CD19 and CD20.
So, does it work? Well, the early data is just starting to come in, but it is incredibly promising. These first-in-human studies are showing two things. One, yes, they can successfully engineer the cells inside the body. And two, they're seeing the first positive signs of anti-tumor activity. It looks like it's working.
So let's zoom out for a second. What does this all mean? We are not just looking at a slightly better cancer treatment here. We are standing on the edge of a whole new era of programmable medicine.
And this goes way beyond cancer. Think about autoimmune diseases like lupus, where you could potentially hit an immune reset button. Or regenerative medicine, where you could program cells to eliminate scar tissue in the heart or lungs. You could even engineer immune cells to finally defeat chronic infections. The possibilities are staggering.
But it all comes back to this one ultimate goal: finally democratizing these amazing therapies. By turning a complex, slow, and ridiculously expensive process into a simple, off-the-shelf injection, we can make these cures scalable, accessible, and affordable. We can make them into real, life-saving drugs for pretty much every patient who needs them.
So I'll leave you with this thought. For years, we thought the peak of medicine was engineering cells in some far-off lab to cure disease. But now, we're realizing something even more profound is possible. What happens when the lab is inside every single one of us? The potential to reprogram our own bodies to heal themselves is going to change everything. Thanks so much for watching.